There's a storm coming, and I need a hand to hold, with the fear of being here on my own. Where the wind's blowing, and the leaves they turn to gold, like they did with you those summers ago.
Good morning guys, it's another range test, another day, another range test. It's a bit colder today, so this is why I'm doing it. It's 4 degrees. So what we're going to do today is we're going from near Wakefield and we're going to go down to Colchester Football Club.
Navigating to Colchester United Football Club.
So we've got a 204 mile journey today. This is saying currently it's only 4 degrees, we'll arrive with 14% left. As usual, I think we will probably arrive with a bit more. That's the range we've got to go to, 204 miles. Let's go and unplug the car because it's still plugged in. Don't want to set off with it plugged in. Oh, I hate the cold British winter mornings. So I've charged overnight on the Octopus, which was good. Octopus Intelligence, 7p a kilowatt. So, let's go. We're on our way, but with filming I've left the charging flap open. Interestingly, the car gives you a warning that you've left your charging flap open. Yeah, it was wide open. Look at that, another great safety feature of the car. Never seen that before. Lateral obstacle detected, so it's warning you when you open your doors that there's cars coming past, which is cool. This car's full of good safety features, I have to say. So just need to get into the right lane on this roundabout. And the sun is just coming up. It looks as though it's going to be a clear sky, which is probably why it's a bit colder. The journey today is we're going down the M1 initially, but just for 28 miles. We then get onto the A1 because we are going east of London over to Colchester, and we get down to sort of Oxford, and then we cut across to Colchester.
There's a speed camera ahead.
Yes, I know there is. We're going to stop at Colchester Football Club overnight at the there's a travel lodge there. Now there is directly adjacent to Colchester Football Club a charging station which is pretty new, and it's one of the best ones non-Tesla in the country, and it's called Fastned. Modern electric cars, the latest ones, can give a code to the charger to tell it which car it is when you plug it in, and this Renault does that. So on the Fastned ones you can set it up on the app so that you don't have to do anything but plug it in just like a Tesla supercharger. So I've set it up, but unfortunately this is the first time I'm using the Fastned charger. So the first time, so it knows what the number is of your car when you plug it in, you have to press manually charge on the app. You've got to do it on the app. One of the things that I haven't really spoken about the car so far is the way it shows the maps. I love it because on your main screen here, you might be able to see it, I don't know, but on your main screen here you've got the full map, if you like, of your entire route across the country, so you can see if there are any blockages, traffic jams, etc. So I can tell, looking at that all the way down currently there are no traffic jams to Colchester. I bet that doesn't stay the same, but we'll see. Whereas in your map on this lovely binnacle, this lovely really high definition binnacle you get on this car here, you've got the immediate route mapping, so a close-up. So you can see your distance, you can see your close-up, you can change the route. You know, if there's a blockage you can just click on the main big map and change it, and it just works really well. Another thing I've done is I've put a bit more air in my tyres. The car says you should run it at 35 psi, but I did read on the forum somebody had inflated his rear ones to 40, it's only 5 psi, and he's improved his fuel economy. Now I am running at 65 miles an hour today rather than 60 because I know the car a bit better, and of course we're only going sort of 200 miles. The car will easily get there. I mean, again, I've been delighted with the car. I didn't film it the other day, but I went from near Wakefield to Leicester and back, and it only used 55% of the battery there and back. So this car is a real beast in terms of the mileage it can get through.
This is where the traffic is. This is also where the traffic is. There's traffic here too.
So half an hour after coming off the M1, we're nearly at the A1. What did I say about following Google? Anyway, we're now pushed back to 11:34 arrival time. Right, so we're through those roadworks and we're going to stop at Peterborough services because I really need a coffee. So when we get to Colchester, I want to charge before I go into my meeting. So what I've done is I've navigated to this Fastned charger in Colchester. Now this apparently preheats the battery, but only when you navigate to somewhere on the nav, just like a Tesla. However, it doesn't tell you it's preheating as far as I'm aware anywhere. We'll see, but I don't think it does. And the other thing is, what I've read, and I don't know if it's true, but I suspect it is if, say, I just navigated to a charger, it wouldn't preheat at all, because it wrongly assumes that you don't want a really fast charge because that's your end destination, and it's not going to preheat the battery because, of course, preheating the battery wastes energy. It does waste energy, there's no doubt about it. That will reduce my consumption going down. But if you navigate to a charger as a stop on the way to your final destination, it will then preheat. I'd really like to see Renault change this and be able to switch on and off preheat maybe, and certainly tell you when it's preheating. So this is an improvement that can be made. So what I've done is the Fastned charger is literally a minute away from my final destination anyway, so I've put that in as a stop and we'll get some preheat, and then we'll see how fast it can charge on this Fastned charger. It's the busiest services in the country, this. It's horrendous normally. You can hardly get in the car park. I think they're extending it. But today, although it is early, it's only sort of 9:53, so people generally don't stop at this time. That's probably why.
In 100 yards,
it's not too
right.
bad at all. So here we are, the wonderful Peterborough services. Let's go and get ourselves a coffee. Got some chargers here, look, if you needed one. I think they're putting some more in, expanding the car park, so there's only 4 chargers here, Gridserve chargers. Here we are. Get a coffee from McDonald's maybe. So we've got our coffee. Let's get back to the Scenic. Nice looking car, isn't it? I think it is anyway.
It feels so good, baby, it's understood. It feels so right, honey, to keep pushing into the night. Oh, it feels so good, sensing our humanhood. We're invincible, baby, last of our kind. This is Babylon. We are the chosen ones. We're the tower they built, where Jesus' secret hid. We're fortifiers in the sky and forgers of truth. Like a wide awake, sleepwalking tide, coming to bring on the feast of your lives. And it feels so good, baby, it's understood.
Right, so we've made it. We made it to the Fastned chargers. Nice little setup this. And as I say, I will have to trigger it by the app, but one time only. See, there's quite a few. There's 2 charging points on each one. Maximum 300 watts, so these are really fast. Canopy over it, this is really nice. And Greg's over there. So we'll look at some figures, but what we want to do is just get onto the Fastned charger first and then get this going. Would have helped if I'd have pulled in the right way, which I now have done. It has got a credit card, bank card, but I'm not going to use that. So I need to put the number of charger in. This is charger 7. Straight away it's connected that. Let's just plug this in. Right, straight away, that is absolutely brilliant. So that's one of the best I've come across. So now I can just plug it in, and it actually tells me what the percentage is on my car on the phone as well. You can see that. So that's fantastic. So let's just have a look at this a bit closer. So really good these are. So look, you can use a card. Session is active. Blue light on the Scenic indicates it's charging, so let's see what speed we're getting. Let's go and have a look. Got a Wendy's here as well if you want that. Let's see what speed. Oh, nice. That's better than before. So the preheating has worked. It's charging at 130. I think it's got a maximum, is it 150, 160? It's dropping down a bit now. Never really saw much more than that on my Tesla Model 3. That's a lot better than it was when I tested it before at the Tesla Supercharger, which you can see on my other video. And I am wondering if it's because I set the Supercharger as my final destination, and as a result it didn't preheat the battery like it looks to have done. It must have done this time. It's just over 200 miles, so we'll call it 200 miles. It was literally on, I think it was 202, did I say? When I started, but let's say 200, and it had 27% left in this cold weather. Now you can see the temperature has got up to 10 degrees now, which is a lot better than I expected it to be, but it did drop to 3 at one point, so it was pretty cold. What is 200 divided by 73 multiplied by 100?
Just a moment.
Hang on.
The answer is approximately 273.972603.
That's saying I've got 273 miles now. After I left the service station, I was doing 65 virtually the whole way, so reasonable speed there. On the eco score on here, this is saying I got an average of 3.4. What's 3.4 multiplied by 87?
4 by 87 is 295.8.
Yeah, so I've done the numbers, and it'll be slightly higher than this actually, because we've just done over 200. So yeah, 276, about 280 miles. When it was like 12, 14 degrees, I'd have expected that to be 320. So it's dropped down by like 40 miles, roughly, compared to what I'd have expected in, say, 12 degrees. So it is affected, of course it is, by the cold. It's lost what? Probably about 15%, something like that, off the top of my head. So that's not too bad. My Tesla lost more than that. My Tesla was well into the 20s. There's a video on that on my YouTube channel. So, but it probably wasn't as cold as it was that day, so it's difficult to say. So I'd expect it to lose 20% in sort of really cold weather, 5 degrees and under. It hasn't lost quite 20%, has it? But it has been warmer than that for part of the journey. So it's pretty much as expected, really. Pretty good. Charging speed is now dropped to 102, which isn't bad. It's now got to 43% already, just whilst I've been talking doing this. So I'm going to put it up to 80%, I think, which is saying is 28 minutes. That should get me back, shouldn't it? You'll see it's nearly 80% now. I've been very, very quick. It's still charging at 73 kilowatts. Now, if you watch my previous video, I think it only started off about 70, and that was when it was down in sort of 40% or less. So you must preheat the battery. You must put this in on as an en route stop rather than the end stop, otherwise it doesn't preheat the battery. And if you do, it performs pretty good on charging, much better than I thought it would. So we're going to stop this in a second, go to what I've got to do today, and I'll see you in the morning. It's going to be an early one, maybe. I'm hoping to get off by about 5:30, 6 o'clock at the latest tomorrow morning. So it's 6 AM, just about to leave the room and get back, so just checking I've got everything. So the car's just preheating. It was cold, really cold last night, but it's raining now, so it's probably warmed up a bit actually. It's absolutely peeing down this morning, as you might be able to hear from the roof. So we're just about to set off. If you probably can't see, it's that dark. It's Colchester Football Club where I've been parked. So let's get this show on the road with the trip back. I'm hoping I can get back in maybe 4 hours. So I don't know if you can see me. Hopefully you can. It's really dark. The weather is absolutely horrendous. The rain is so heavy. There's deep puddles on the road, and I'm on the main dual carriageway here. So it's really, really bad weather. So how this will affect the range of the car, I don't know.
England, as Storm Connell moves in, some areas, including parts of Kent, Sussex and London, could see 2 weeks' worth of rain this morning. In the city, the FTSE 100 a short time ago was
So you heard it there. This storm has come in and the weather has been absolutely horrendous. We've had such massive amounts of rain. So I've had two problems this morning. First, this huge amount of rain. The temperature also dropped. So we're now, as we head north, the rain should be stopping, although it's still fairly fast, but nothing like it was. Temperature is really low, it's only 4 degrees, so horrendous conditions for any electric vehicle. The second problem I have is that my sat-nav, for some reason, maybe there was a blockage on the road or something, it decided to take me over to the southeast, nearly to the southeast coast, and then down, I think it was the A19 that basically went through Cambridge. You can see the weather here. Went through Cambridge and that way up to the A1. So it added about 30 or 40 miles onto my journey, and of course I'd only charged to 80%, thinking that'll give me a little bit of leeway given the length of the journey down. But unfortunately I've now got another, I think, 30 miles to do. So the combination of the horrendous weather and driving rain, which is still bad, and the cold temperatures, and now the extra 30 miles it's put on my route, means that I'm really struggling to get back on a single charge, which is just crazy. If I look at my driving, you can see my energy efficiency, well, you might not be able to see, but my energy efficiency has dropped down to 3.2 kilowatts an hour in this rain. It's the rain that's mainly doing it. So I've had to slow the car down to 55 currently, in the hope I can get back, because I really don't want to charge. Right, I've now got up to Newark Lincoln Junction. 24% left on the battery with 70 miles to go. Hang on, object on the road, Google's just warned me at, and vehicles are slowing down, so there is something going on here. So guys, I'm afraid to say I've chickened out. I've got 18% left, and I've still got sort of 50 minutes of driving left. So it's going to be very, very close. So what I'm going to do is I've just asked Google to tell me whether the chargers are, and nearest one now is fast ones at Gridserve, Nottinghamshire. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So we're coming into Bawtry Services. To be honest, I need the toilet anyway. Been going 3.5 hours. So where are these chargers? Gridserve. This looks as though it could be a pretty new one. Wow, this is, oh, there's Teslas. Don't know if you can use them. Wow, there's some super high power, more Gridserve ones there coming by the looks of it. So, I don't know if this works with Octopus Intelligent. Let's have a go.
Your destination is on the left.
My Octopus card. Right, so this is the setup here. Can you see this? So, looking on the app, which I've just now downloaded, look, you've got available, some slow chargers that must be around the other side of the site. I'll have to go there if all else fails. But I'm waiting for somebody to come off one of these. Then these fast ones, they're all unavailable because they're all brand new, just been installed. Now, it's a shame it doesn't tell you that here, isn't it, when you arrive, if you don't know. Obviously, they're only working if they've got the big red light on them. You'd think red would mean it's charging, but actually it's red anyway. It's red all the time, I think. So you see that one up there. So, a bit confusing. And why on earth haven't they got signs on these saying not working, not yet commissioned? But there's all the new charging stations they're putting in. So it will be good when it's done, but it's just a bit of a pain that the system told me there's 10 and one spare, but there isn't. Right, I'm leaving this. I'm going up to, I've just put in Navigate Home, and there's some Ionity ones up the road en route, so I'm going to go there instead, let the map put me in automatically to charge at those, because you can't get charging here. This car's look turning up expecting these chargers to be open, and they're not yet commissioned. Here's another guy who looks as though he's just going to park up and try it before, like me, realising it's not actually working. Here he is, pulling into that one. He's going to have no luck, is he? So it's ridiculous. There's a van here wanting to charge now. Everybody's pulling up thinking that they can charge and they can't. So let's get up to the next set. I've arrived at these Ionity chargers, but that first one wasn't working there. Again, it says coming soon on a sticker, but it plugged in, but it just didn't start charging. Fortunately, the second one here started charging. Again, reliability issues with non-Tesla, but at least it's charging at a decent whack. It's charging at 111 kilowatts an hour. This is a Holiday Inn, so I think I'll just go to the toilet actually. So it's charging at 110. So we won't give it that much because it's quite expensive. I think it's about 79 pence. It worked fine with the Octopus Electroverse card, which was good. So let's just go in here and go to the bathroom while I'm waiting for this thing to charge. So we've got a coffee, and we've had a much needed toilet break. It's not raining. We're hitting the edge of the rain at last, after only 4 hours of driving, whatever it's been. So these chargers aren't bad. As I said, there's a couple of them not working. It says they're coming soon, so whether they look pretty new as well. And this is the thing, the new chargers have been installed everywhere, so it is getting a lot better. But there's a few morals of the story which I'll go over when we get back home. So I think I'll be ready to set off again hopefully now. So these are pretty fast, charging at 97 at the moment. Not as fast as the amazing, I have to say, Fastned chargers. Please Fastned, bring out more charging stations in the UK because you are the top one. But these aren't bad. and it's coming at a decent speed, but expensive. I think it's 79p a kilowatt or something, so I don't want to put too much in. I think I'll let it get to 35 and then we'll be on our way, which should give us plenty. I mean, I've only got 33 miles to go now. It's now 11:41, so I was delayed coming back just with the slow traffic, having to find that charge. And I suppose really you've seen there how I've had in one trip charging heaven and charging hell. But you know, we live and learn. A few things I'd definitely consider next time. Give yourself more than 7% in case something goes wrong like it did today with the weather. We had a major storm in the south of England. M25 was closed, railways are closed. The rain was horrendous, and when it's that bad, it's creating a lot of friction on the car. It's also cooling the battery all the time so it doesn't warm up. And the temperature for most of the way back, it's 6 degrees now, but it's nice and bit of sun now. But temperature on the way back, a lot of it was only 4 degrees. So 4 degrees driving rain, absolutely terrible, about as bad as it can get. It'd be much better it being, say, 0 or -2 and dry than with the driving rain we had. So could I have got back? I might have just squeezed it, but we decided to stop. The other thing that's sort of evident from the stops is a lot of new chargers are going in. We had that Gridserve charger. It wasn't actually commissioned in full yet, only 4 of them were. And the Ionity one I went to as well at the Holiday Inn in Doncaster, it looked as though some of those still had to be commissioned rather than being broken down because it had coming soon on it. They've also now, by law, got to have contactless credit card payments on them. And so whether they've shut them down whilst they're doing that, I'm not sure. But either way, just be aware that these charging stations aren't always open. That is improving a lot. This trip would have been impossible without a Tesla. Well, it wouldn't have been impossible, it would have been extremely difficult without a Tesla. Now, when the Gridserve wasn't switched on, within a few miles, I got into there was the Ionity. They're all over the place, the super fast chargers. So it's no longer the real issue it was, although they are quite expensive. So I hope you've enjoyed that video. There is a full review coming when I can finish it off. It's going to be a long one, so make sure you subscribe and click the little notification bell so you get notifications of new videos. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying the Renault Scenic videos and they're helping you make a buying decision. So cheers, and I'll see you later.